So, good morning. It's last day of the trip, and I'm only gonna make a few little clips for today because I have a really tight schedule to get going. But I did want to take the time to point out something very cultural. I lost my shaver. Well, not lost it. I retrieved it, but I had forgotten it in Loreto, and so yesterday I had to buy a little emergency shaving kit, and so went into this Italian store, and amongst all kinds of Gilettes and the usual ones, did I find a Figaro shaving cream. And so I'm gonna keep this as a memorabilia. What a beautiful country to come up with a Figaro shaving cream. Alright, we are about to leave Cesenatico, my last day. Tonight I should be home if everything goes alright, and I'll let you be part of the ceremoniously pushing of the button to get home. It doesn't get a signal here under the trees, but there's symbolism anyway. So now comes the hottest stretch of my journey. Ironically, I'm already 1,000 kilometers north of where I used to be, but I'm now on the big highway towards Bologna, and often there are traffic jams, and Bologna sits in this valley between Austria, with the mountains there, and then it comes this deep valley, and then Abruzzo and so on starts further south of this. So you are in this kettle where the sun beats in. I'm gonna go through there just at around noon, and it's gonna be brutal. It's probably gonna be on the highway 50-60 Celsius with no appreciable wind, and if you stand there in a traffic jam, it gets dangerous. So I already drank my Fanta to strengthen myself for this, and I also bought myself a 2-liter bottle of water, which I will tie down to the scooter so that it's easily accessible in a traffic jam, that I can drink in between. Otherwise it really gets dangerous. So wish me good luck. Oh, see, it's only an hour later and I already made it through. This is where I tied my water. That was quite some luck. On the other side there was what I expected to be bumper to bumper. They're standing there for hours to get past Bologna, and on my side was just sailing right through. I'm already going north again towards the Brennero, the big highway mountain pass through Austria, northern Italy and Austria, and through the Alps. That's a pretty boring route, thinking on how spectacular Austria really is. So I'm gonna check the map now, because I saved at least an hour, whether I can make a little detour over the Großglockner. That's about 3,300 meters high or so. So to have a little bit of a mountain cap off of the holiday or so. I'll see whether that's feasible. My gosh, what's wrong with Central Europe? So I'm on my way, I can see the Alps. All of a sudden the most vicious wind rises. I mean, we're talking hurricane forces, over 100-kilometer winds. I'm being blown about. I see these huge thunder clouds coming. I'm seeking protection behind a truck. He's going only 60 because he's being blown about. It's this huge 18-wheeler. All of a sudden, the emergency vehicles everywhere in both directions, thunder clouds, and then the most horrendous downpour. I drove about 3,500 kilometers before I could escape this. Now the very first chance that Central Europe has to make me miserable, kapow! I mean, with big force and well, it's just unbelievable. So I might have to, after all this time, still put on my rain suit. I'm trying not to, but because it makes you all steamy inside and stuff like this, it's sometimes better to be wet, and if there's hope that it stops intermittently, then it's better to not have one on. But this looks bad right now. Wow. Alright, what we had before was just a little suburbia of Trento. We are approaching the real thing now. I'll let it run a little bit and see whether we get something good. So we are not at the border here. That'll be in 500 meters or so. This is something far more important for Europe than a border, which is a toll station. And I'm gonna have to pay something like 40 euros or so to go from Bologna to, well, before from Cesenatico here to the border. It'll be probably around 40 euros. So anyway, it's very pretty here. Very pretty. So it's gonna come any minute now, Austria. So if we weren't enwrapped in a nasty rainy thundercloud, you would see here the famous European bridge. And it cost many lives to build this. It's an engineering marvel. I think it's almost 1,000 meters, not quite, maybe 800 meters high, the bridge itself. It connected Europe finally, from Central Europe to Southern Europe, and was one of the biggest construction deals back in the 70s. I have driven as a boy with my parents to Italy before it was finished, and it shortened a 2 or 3 day trip down to one longish day. So it was really a big deal when that was finished. And I guess to celebrate this important spot in Europe, and by the way, it's so history laden, this entire route from here to Venice. You have all the great cities where all the great history happened, I mean, you've got Venice and you've got Bologna and you've got Padua close by and you've got Florence on the other side just a little bit further. Or Ravenna, of course, is right on the way, and then going up to Trento and Bolzano, and I mean, this was history laden way before Christianity even started. I mean, Alexander the Great's elephants were sliding around here some few thousand years ago. And to celebrate all this history, it is only meet and right that at this important spot they would put a McDonald's. And who am I to chant tradition like this? So I shall go and have a Big Mac and maybe I can wait out the rain. Over and out. McDonald's with a spectacular view, I must say. Even though it is a shame that this is McDonald's here, but they did well. They did very well. So I didn't have a Big Mac after all. I had a quarter pounder with cheese. So, first time this trip in 6,500 kilometers that I'm actually wearing my rain jacket on my very last day, on the last 4 hours of the trip. As I said before, it's better often to not wear it because you dry out faster. But and you stay very dry on the scooter as long as you drive 80 kilometers or more per hour. But now that it's going downhill like this and the roads are slippery and there's lots of trucks there and stuff like this, I can sometimes only drive 50 and then I get really wet. So here we go, first time on this trip, my rain suit. So we missed also the German border. I couldn't take any shots. It was raining cats and dogs and the roads were slippery and trucks everywhere, and I just couldn't pull out the camera. It really wouldn't have been safe. So we missed our last border entry. We unfortunately missed it too. But I want to give us a last look at the Alps. I'm about how much away from home? 175 kilometers away from home, so I'm getting there. And so here you see the last little bit of Austria and Bavaria starting right over there, where you still see some cloud-capped mountains. But look at these gorgeous, luscious greens here. This is Bavaria now. That means it has been raining a lot when it's that green. It is just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And of course Scooty, I'm not angry at him anymore for snapping his belt, but he has been a faithful companion. This is Alright everyone, there's just 5 kilometers left till I'm home. We're gonna cross the Danube together, and then to the left side is my little suburban village. And here the awesome doing the last few meters together. So another 100 meters. There's the house, my little housey, and